The treaty arrived wrapped in light in language that sounded gentle. Translated across every human network, it promised an end to the long frontier wars. The coalition of elder species spoke of balance, harmony, and shared futures. They praised humanity's resilience in cold Earth, a necessary partner in galactic peace. After 3 generations of skirmishes, blockades, and proxy conflicts, many humans wanted to believe it. Markets stabilized overnight. Protest fleets stood down, and politicians smiled for the first time in years. The treaty offered neutral ground, a massive ring station in unclaimed space. No weapons allowed, no warships within 10 million kilometers. Total transparency. Admiral Reyes read the document in silence. She did not smile. She did not relax. She noticed what was missing. The coalition apologized for misunderstandings, but never for attacks. They spoke of peace, yet insisted on human disarmament first. They requested population data, fleet locations, and command structures. They called it trust. Human history had a long memory. Every empire that asked for trust without giving it back ended the same way. Burned cities, erased cultures, broken treaties written on ashes. So humanity agreed, publicly, loudly, and with great ceremony. Earth would attend the signing. Earth would come unarmed. Behind closed doors, a different conversation happened. Engineers reopened sealed black vaults. Generals dusted off projects, declared impossible. Civilian shipyards quietly reinforced hulls. Humanity did not bring guns. They brought tools. They brought contingencies. They brought the understanding that peace talks held under threat, whenever peace talks at all. When the delegation departed, the Galaxie watched a fleet of diplomats and aides. They saw white holes, open transponders, and empty hard points. They did not see the adaptive alloys woven into clothing. They did not see the quantum keys hidden in medical implants. The coalition believed the trap was perfect. Humanity suspected it was obvious. And still, the ships jumped to the rendezvous. Because if the treaty was a lie, it was better to prove it at the table than learn it too late in orbit. The ring station was enormous. A cathedral of metal and light. Its corridors were wide enough for dreadnoughts, yet filled with gardens and water. Coalition delegates fled, or slithered, or walked in forms shaped by distant suns. They smiled with mandibles, color shifts, and harmonic vibrations. Humans arrived last. They always did now. It unsettled the older species. Security drones scanned the delegation again and again. No weapons detected, no armor, no explosives. The coalition relaxed. The opening speeches were long and poetic. They spoke of shared destiny and mutual survival. They spoke of the dangers of human innovation, framed as concern. They spoke of the need for limits. When Admiral Reyes finally responded, she spoke simply. She thanked them for the invitation. She honored the fallen on all sides. She agreed that peace required restraint. The first clause was introduced immediately. Humanity would dismantle all long-range strike capabilities. Planetary defense grids would be placed under coalition oversight. Human research into autonomous weapons would cease. The human delegation requested a recess. The coalition denied it. The second clause followed. Coalition peacekeepers would be stationed in Earth orbit. They would ensure compliance. They would remain indefinitely. That was when the temperature in the room changed. Not physically, but socially. Human aides stopped taking notes. Diplomats stopped whispering. Admiral Reyes stood. She asked a single question. What enforcement mechanisms apply to the coalition? The chamber went quiet. Then laughter rippled across species. The answer was none. That was the moment humanity knew the trap was already sprung. But traps worked both ways. The admiral nodded. She accepted the clause. She accepted all of them. The coalition believed they had won. They did not notice the delay in human heartbeats. They did not notice the synchronization across ships light years away. When the signing ceremony began, human delegates pressed their palms to living crystal. Biometric signatures verified identity, and silently activated something else entirely. The station's lights dimmed for a fraction of a second. Coalition systems registered it as a fluctuation. Human systems registered it as confirmation. Across the ring, embedded fabric stiffened. Medical implants rerouted power. Personal devices unfolded into shapes. No scanner recognizes weapons. The first coalition peacekeeper collapsed without a sound. Its nervous system overloaded by a signal delivered through treaty crystal. Then another, then dozens. The chamber erupted into chaos. Security fields snapped online. But human biology had already crossed the threshold. Admiral Reyes spoke calmly as guards froze mid-step. She explained that humanity never agreed to disarm. They agreed not to carry weapons. Human technology had long since abandoned the idea that weapons needed barrels. Information could kill, energy could be shaped, even the body could become a delivery system. Coalition Command tried to signal their fleets. They found their own networks locked behind human encryption, built cooperatively decades earlier, ignored at the time. Human ships outside the exclusion zone powered up, not warships, logistics vessels, colony transports, hospital ships, each one capable of reconfiguration within minutes. The admiral addressed the chamber. The treaty was, indeed, a trap, but traps only worked on prey. Humanity had studied every coalition, species, their psychology, their command structures, their taboos. They knew which systems were centralized. They knew which leaders could not tolerate loss of control. The coalition demanded surrender. Humanity offered renegotiation, this time with symmetry. Negotiations resumed under very different conditions. Coalition delegates sat restrained by their own security systems. Human delegates sat freely, unarmed in appearance, unstoppable in reality. The new terms were simple: mutual disarmament, verified equally. No occupation forces, anywhere, shared oversight of all superweapon research. The coalition protested. They threatened extinction events in ancient fleets. Humanity listened politely. Then they demonstrated. A single human logistics ship folded space in a way previously thought impossible. Not to destroy, but to relocate. A moon moved a fraction of a degree. It was enough. The coalition finally understood the mistake they had made. They had mistaken restraint for weakness, caution for fear, diplomacy for submission. Humanity explained something important. They did not seek domination. They sought survival. And survival required teeth. The revised treaty was signed slowly, carefully. Every clause mirrored. Every enforcement equal. No species above consequence. When it was done, the station released its locks. Coalition fleets withdrew. Human ships powered down. Peace, real peace, settled into the void. History would later argue about the day the treaty was signed. Some called it a near disaster. Others called it humanity's coming of age. What no one disputed was the lesson learned across the galaxy. Humans did not attend peace talks to surrender. They attended to ensure peace survived contact with reality. From that day forward, treaties included human advisors. Security protocols changed, and no species ever again demanded unilateral disarmament. The phrase spread quietly through diplomatic circles. If humans accept your invitation, assume they are prepared for betrayal. Because the treaty had been a trap, and humanity had walked into it willingly, weapons unseen, resolve unquestionable. And that, the galaxy learned, was why humanity endured.